Hey everyone, Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business. Today we're going to be talking about Read.Cash, which is a blogging platform similar to Medium and Publish0x. The major difference is that they run exclusively on Bitcoin Cash, and you can receive and send tips in Bitcoin Cash. But the very, very interesting thing is that they've just recently started platform rewards from a fund that is funded by the community. Interestingly enough, they've received about $100,000 US worth of Bitcoin Cash donations in the past few months to fund this platform. So now it's paying out quite a good amount every single day to creators on the platform for their contributions. I've been earning anywhere between 40 to 60 cents US every day with just about 170 subscribers, and I'm not even posting every day. So I think that's pretty amazing. And yeah, there's a lot to this platform and a lot of nuances, so we're going to dive into all of that in just a moment. But just before we do, a word from our sponsor today, Professor Prime. Let's check it out. Primecoin has developed a new game called Professor Prime, where you're going through a Flappy Bird-esque game as the professor collecting prime numbers. Now, it is a very simple game, but it is addictive and it's very challenging. But the really interesting thing is each month, the top players on the leaderboard get rewarded in the form of Primecoin. So you can compete against me and others for that crypto. Check out the links below. In terms of Read.Cash, though, we're going to be jumping in right now. Let me share my screen. This is what it looks like when you first come on the platform. You can actually see the fund above. It was at 100,000, but again, they are paying out every day. So you can see that obviously it's not there anymore because they are spreading this around between the creators. And you can see every day the points that you've accumulated for the day, and then those points will convert into Bitcoin Cash. So you can actually click here and it says this is worth about 42 cents US, and that will be paid to me in the form of Bitcoin Cash. So that's really, really lucrative, and you get points essentially for people liking your content, commenting, just any kind of engagement or contributions being made if you've posted an article, all that good stuff. And you can actually go and you can see, this is my profile. You don't see these are draft posts. So only I see these, but yeah, so this is what it would look like for most people when you're just on the platform and you're looking at my account. You can see the likes, comments, views, and then if you've gotten any tips, it will show beside as well. Then this is the actual communities that you're being posted in. They'll only show up if it's like a major community. Otherwise, you'll just see all the individual communities on the post itself. I post quite a bit shamelessly. You can see all these here. Do try to keep it relevant. I mean, I don't post into places that it doesn't make sense at all, right? Like I'll post an earnings report to economics, and then I'm in a bunch of like post anything groups. But outside of that, make sure you keep things in the right categories so it doesn't become spammy. They've recently removed tags and then converted over to these communities, where the difference is that communities essentially operate the same way, but they're managed by moderators. So for me, I own my own community that I created for blockchain social media, and then people submit their posts and I can skip the post, which will just do nothing, or I can reject it. And then it shows if how many times you've rejected the same user. If you think they keep adding the same stuff and you don't like it, and then you can approve. You can also set to auto approve once you approve for someone if you really like their content and you have no issue with just letting them continually go and you don't have to approve it every time. I've been auto approved on a lot of groups that I'm in, just because I post quality content, so there's no reason for them to have to moderate it. And yeah, so like when you go on Read.Cash, just the general thing here, you'll see you can look at exclusive posts, which means only posts that exist on Read.Cash, or you can just see everything that's out there. You can also filter by the language. I have it set to just English. Blue highlighted posts are boosted, meaning that they've paid a little bit of money for some visibility. Yellow highlighted are people that you're subscribed to, and then the rest are just various authors. This is the community again. So these show up when it's a community that you've joined and it's like a popular community. Otherwise, they usually don't show up, again, just on the post. They'll also highlight some new authors and people who are making new posts to help, give some visibility. They don't really play favorites, so that's really great. And this is very decentralized and community run. Communities are very similar to, I guess, like subreddits, where they're sort of moderated and everything exists in there. However, on the main screen, you can see everything. Now, if we're going to take a look at stats, while this platform is very small, it only started in November, and they've been growing rapidly ever since they introduced platform rewards. That makes a lot of sense because I don't expect a lot of people to be super enticed to participate in a platform just on the hopes that someone will donate or tip you, because if you don't have somewhat of a following, it's very challenging to get tips. Or if you're not like pandering, like you're just writing about Read.Cash in hopes to get money, I think you should still be posting about relevant content and things that matter to you. And now that they're giving out post rewards, they're really incentivizing that, where you're not just trying to get tips. You can actually just post about the things that you want. And if people like that content, you will get rewarded from the platform. And, while it's not 100% sustainable, it's definitely going to last quite some time. And if they continue getting donations, then this should work really well. And I mean, if this continues growing, they might be able to introduce ads and sort of solve this. It's sort of the same issue with like Library, where they're trying to solve the issue of running out of their funds. I think they're a lot further ahead with ads and all that stuff that they're going to be coming out with. But something that they could take advantage of too. And something really great about Read.Cash is they actually allow you to embed library videos on the platform, which very, very few platforms have actually taken advantage of. So it's great to see a decentralized platform supporting other decentralized platforms, whereas previously you could only use YouTube videos and embed those. Everything sort of correlates with the fund going way up. People are getting a lot of money now. They're getting points. You can actually see all the donations for the top people who have donated and tipped. Mark DeMeasel, I'm going to be interviewing him on Monday. He's donated an insane amount, basically the majority, and he's also done by far more tipping than anyone else on this platform. That's over $100,000 that he's given to this platform. So absolutely amazing. And we're going to be diving into that on Monday. I don't know exactly when that'll be posted, but stay tuned. And then all of this other stuff, again, sort of correlates with the points being given out. So you can kind of follow along with this and see the progress. I think this is going to rapidly increase, and I'd be surprised if this wasn't at minimum 50,000 by the end of the year, especially if this continues at the rate that it is. I have no doubt that that will be the case. And I'm thinking it'll be closer to 100,000. Really just depends how much traction they really get. They are lacking a social presence, like they're not on Twitter and stuff. So that could be one of the main factors that would prevent that. So I'm not ruling it out. But it's great when they're very open and transparent and they share all this information so you don't have to look for it yourself. It's just very easily accessible to you. So when we go to write a post, I'm not actually going to write a post. It's also good if you have a draft that you haven't saved, they will make sure to keep that for you in case you want to save that. But all it was me doing the previous video, and then I realized I wasn't recording one of my screens, so I wasted like a half an hour. So I really hope you guys appreciate this video. But essentially, it operates very similar to Medium or Publish0x. The only things that you might want to be aware of is you can't add like a video or an image unless you have a blank line here, like even a space, you won't see that. And if you highlight stuff, you can, add all the things you'd like to add, but you won't get that publisher bar that includes images and videos and such unless you have an empty space. And then the sponsors block is also something you can add like that, or you can add it just by simply typing sponsors. And what this creates, and it has to be just like on a line by itself, what that creates is a little sponsor widget. like this. And once you've created one on any post, this will also show up on your profile because now people can sponsor your content. It's best if you just add a sponsor block to all of your posts because then that incentivizes more people other than just appearing on your profile page. We'll dive into sponsors in a sec, but essentially in an actual post, it would look like this. And this is my post on how sponsorships work. So if you want to dive more into that and follow along with tutorial and stuff, this will help you with that as well. But when I typed in sponsor at the bottom here, this added the sponsor block. So you can add this to every post, and this way you'll give visibility to your sponsors and thus again incentivizing them to be a sponsor. So to actually be a sponsor, you would click become a sponsor. It just sort of explains how it all works as you go through. But you're competing with other people. So if they don't have any sponsors, so for me, right, I have one sponsor, he's paying 1 cent a month. And this is what it's generally encouraged as. It's not like, oh, people are going to be giving you a ton of money. It's more about getting competition going for sponsors to actually earn more money. It's not about like, hey, why aren't you giving me more? Why are you only giving me 1 cent? It's more about the competition. So if you wanted to be number one instead of him, you'd have to give me 2 cents. Or if you didn't mind being second, you could just give 1 cent. So say I wanted to be first, right? So I give 2 cents. And then you can write your ad, add some text and stuff, upload your video, and then submit it. I can't submit to my own, or maybe I can, but then it'll show up. Like, so if someone submits to you, it will show up at the bottom of my sponsorships, my current sponsors. And then originally I got the option to approve or deny, and then it shows up here. And then for sponsors that I'm sponsoring, that's what you'll first see, sponsoring. So when I go and I submit to sponsor someone, this will show up, but it'll be blank like this, requires approval. And then once they approve it, it will give me the option to send money. So then based on the amount that I bid for, I can send that amount. And so for this person, I sent them 4 cents, and that covers me for 4 months. And you can see if I click on their account, right there, it shows me as their sponsor. I don't know if they've included the sponsor block in their posts, but if they did, then I would show up as well. So you can see it's at the bottom here. So that's awesome. So yeah, so you can easily sponsor and get sponsored. It's not very hard to do. It just costs a tiny little amount of Bitcoin Cash. So if you don't want to spend anything, you'll probably be able to earn that pretty quickly. Because again, I'm going to get about 42 cents tomorrow. That could sponsor almost all of my sponsors just from 1 day's worth of earning. So, it's definitely not too hard to do. And then what you can also do with your money is you can boost content. So these are my current boosts. We'll take a look at how that actually works. So when you go to an article that you've written, I'm going to go way down so I find one that I haven't actually boosted before, so you can see what it actually looks like. So once you click on an article, you'll see this little megaphone here, and when you click this allows you to actually boost the content. So what this means is you can hit next, and it usually explains a lot of the things as you go through them each. So what this is this is what other people are bidding for visibility right now. You're best to just bid like 1 cent above the current threshold because it changes throughout the day and as people are bidding. And if you're below the threshold, then your boost will not show up. So it's easiest to just keep it at the main threshold and say, I just want to boost it for 1 day. I would just give the 9 cents for the day. So that means this post is now going to be advertised for 23 hours. And then if I go to my boosts, you'll see at the top here, 15 seconds ago, I've got 23 hours left, and I could pause it. I could add more. I could remove, or say, you know what? I don't even think this is doing very well. Let me move these funds to something a little more productive. So my most recent post, I moved the funds there. And now you can see it's going to go for 4 days, and you can see how much is left in the fund there. So this is a great way to get more visibility, and you will get way more visibility from doing this. So much so that you'll probably end up making the money back, right? So say every day I end up putting in 20 or 30 cents, but I end up making, like 40 to 50 cents. So that means every day I'm still making money, and then I'm getting visibility and I'm growing my account to then make more money. You could just take out all your money and not spend anything, but investing the money back into yourself is the best way that you're going to maximize your future profit potential and growing your account. And it's the same with any platform. This is just for library, right? So, for Read.Cash. Too many platforms that I'm on. In terms of some of the other things that you might want to be aware of for posting, you got to set your language. You can add a cover photo, and then you'll submit to the communities that you want it to show up in. You'll only see communities listed that you've joined. So join the communities that you want to be a part of, and then you can post to those communities. Obviously, only post to the ones that make sense. Don't just spam all of them. I am in quite a few just post whatever kind of content, like free writing, any writing, free wall. But the other ones, I try to make it a little more succinct because, you don't want to just spam all the communities. Anyways, though, that covers the majority of that. You can send your money to any Bitcoin Cash address, and it's basically instant. There's no minimum fee, or there's no fees. There's no minimum send, nothing like that. From the platform, at least, obviously, there's still any network fees that would be attached to Bitcoin Cash. So that's very easy to do. And then it's the same for depositing. You'll be given an address, and then you can send here, no problem. And then if you want to see your actual transaction history for your account, you can go in here and see this is me sending out boosts. And let's look for where I got paid. So you can see I got 36 cents yesterday, or rather this morning from Read.Cash from the fund. So that's really awesome. And then you can see a few days ago I got 42 cents. Before that I got 62 cents. So again, it varies. But getting, between 35 to 62 cents every day is nothing to scoff at, especially with such a small following. That means that anyone could be earning on here, and there's a lot of good potential. So I highly, highly recommend this platform, and I think there's a lot to it that is left to actually be made yet. They're still developing a ton of things. A lot of the things they're doing are experimental. The Read.Cash staff is posting almost every day with new updates and developments that they've got in the works. So they're definitely doing really well. They're highly communicative. One of the only issues I see for them is that they don't have social media outside of this, like on Twitter and stuff like that, which will sort of hurt their growth potential. But I still see them growing quite rapidly this year, especially with platform rewards. I think this is going to bring a lot of people in. Let me know if you guys use Read.Cash. Do you use Publish0x, Medium? What is your preferred blogging platform? And what do you think a blogging platform should have when it's crypto monetized or using the blockchain? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video to the very end. Since you did, make sure to give it a like and comment hashtag #1ham in the comments below, so that way I know that you watched the whole video. Also, please subscribe to this channel and feel free to follow me anywhere under @ScottCBusiness. I'm basically on every platform. You can also share this with someone else who might gain value from it, and that would be very helpful and impactful to helping my channel grow as well. If you'd like to support me more directly, you can also donate to scottcbusiness.eth or scottcbusiness.crypto listed below. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this video. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.